Good, all good.
How was your day yesterday? You had a good day?
Yesterday, yeah, I went to the gym. I left the gym like for a week because uh, I thought that it wasn't necessary to pay the membership because the gym didn't open the 24th, 25th of December, 31 of January and 1st of January. So I decided to to don't pay the membership, and until yesterday I paid them again.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Um, Perfect, excellent. So you went back to the gym yesterday only.
Yes. Yesterday.
Very nice. You were also saying that going routinely to the gym really makes wonders, right?
Yeah.
In your health, basically.
Yeah. Of course. Exercise in general, I think that gets benefit.
Very nice. Well, very nice, Mickey. Thank you. I was checking 20 very interesting or trendy topics, and I would say that these 20 topics are extremely well, they are trendy for a reason, right? um, and let's see if we can discuss them and probably align them in a list of preference. Yeah, there are many, but let's choose maybe the five most topical or most interesting topics that we find. One of them, obviously, is the climate change that we were talking about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But you have remote work and what is called digital nomadism. So that is a very interesting topic. What do you think about these topics here? Let me share the screen with you, Mickey.
Thank you.
Uh, Here. All right, let's take a look at these topics and the description of them. So here we have these topics. What do you think of these ones? I don't. Can you read them, please, Mickey?
Yes, sure. Climate change and sustainability, growing awareness and initiative to address environmental issues.
Okay, we've talked about that a number of times. All right, the next one,
Yeah.
please.
Remote work and digital nomadism, the ongoing shift in work culture and the rise of remote work.
What do you think about that, Mickey? That is, I think, more or less a new topic that we are including today. What's your opinion? What do you think about digital nomadism? You work in India now, and now you work for American companies, or you decide to work for a promoting company. For example, Sophie is working now for a Dutch company, and she makes phone calls to European ladies which are about to retire and people
Mhm.
in Latin America to see what your retirement plan, and these totally different people, and that's becoming more fashionable and more common now. What do you think of that, Mickey?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's something that it's very common actually. Um, I think that it started since the pandemic. I think so. I think that since the pandemic it started to being more popular. Um, and yeah, I think that you get some advantages of this type of work or mention here of this digital nomadism because well you can stay in one part and working in other and just with the internet and your computer you can do a lot of things so I think that it's something good. Obviously probably there must be some disadvantages too, but I think that the majority are advantages.
Right, I totally agree with you. I have a friend who is an expert translator for legal issues, and
Mm.
she works basically for England companies and US companies. And she has to translate, sometimes interpret in the moment.
Hmm.
And although she says that it's a bit tense and stressful, it is also very important to notice that is very rewarding to be working with people from totally different cultures. So she likes her job very much. So yeah, I agree with you. It's mostly positive, although at times can be a bit stressful.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for the third one, Mickey, please. Can you?
hmm Health and wellness, mental health, holistic well-being, and fitness trends.
Yeah. Um, I was having an interesting conversation last night with another friend who's a psychotherapeutist, and she from reading the tarot, she can read the tarot. And I says, "Well, you do psychoanalysis and you read the tarot," and but they look like totally different, totally separated from each other.
Yeah.
She was giving an explanation that there are certain specifics. I still cannot believe that it's very scientific because it's at random. You take the cards at random. It's not that you choose.
hmm
Then, well, I like this card. I like this, and that is like a picture of you, right? Like,
yeah.
but well, but she has a very wide spectrum of knowledge from something very what she says is very hippie to something which is very elaborate like psychoanalysis, right?
hmm
And so you go from Reiki, breathing habits. And then I suggested to her, why don't you give a whole diagnosis of the patient in terms of physical well being and mental well being? And then she liked the idea, and you can include everything you want, right? And then even the quality of the skin, because sometimes you need to moist the skin, or if you go to the sun or the beach, it's going to be very dry. So, what you really want to have is a total diagnosis of your psyche and your physic. So I like the idea, but this is the concept of whole well-being. You're familiar with that, surely, Mickey.
Yeah, I heard about it. It is interesting. To be honest, I'm not very informed about it, but yeah, as you mentioned, I think that uh, in occasions people focused. Sorry, my
That's
cat.
okay. Very sweet,
Uh,
Mickey.
in occasions, people focus just on their bodies, and I think that it must be a balance. You know, you think I think that you need to focus on your mental health too, and in occasions, I think that your mental health probably is a little bit more important that your
Physical health.
physical health. Yeah, obviously there must be a balance, but I think that sometimes people ignore the mental health.
I fully agree with you, Mickey. Actually, I don't know what you think, but I think. Do you actually? Let me make this as a question. Do you think there is a correlation between mental, emotional, and physical, and maybe spiritual health? Are they more or less correlated?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Then we're talking about technology and artificial intelligence. We're talking about this yesterday, right?
hmm Advancements, ethical considerations, and applications of AI.
And you mentioned a new one which I hadn't heard of, which is incredible. Well, wait, we're talking about um, how did that work? You were saying yesterday there is a dialogue that the AI can copy, and then you can give it a speech, and it will reproduce it with the tone of voice of the specific person. Is that how it works?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, to do that, you need to use different AIs. For example, you can use ChatGPT to create the the speech or the dialogue, and then there's another AI called Bing AI, and Bing AI you can create the image, and there's other called it is new. This one is called Leonardo AI, and what this app does is that the picture that you send with the test that you give to the image, he create like the movements of the face, and yeah, and it's like if somebody is talking at that moment.
Wow, it's impressive. Absolutely impressive, to be honest. I mean, not
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was impressed when artificial intelligence was able to play chess, for example, against the world champions. When they played against Garry Kasparov in 1992,
Hmm.
Gary was able to beat the computer. It was Deep Blue from, I think, from Microsoft or from Hewlett Packard. No, not from Hewlett Packard. From what was this? IBM, I think. IBM.
Hmm.
But then they improved the software, and the next year it was a draw. And the next year the computer beat Kasparov, that was the world champion. He retired. He says, "Okay, that's enough. I got my limits." And this moment, to this day, 20 years later, 30 years later, the computer will beat the world champion 10-0. It's 10-0. It's going to totally destroy the world champion, a computer.
Yeah.
That's artificial intelligence. Imagine. The same with the game Go. Do you know the game Go, Mickey?
No, teacher. What is that?
It's a Chinese game. Yeah, it's very interesting. If you wish, you can Google it. Google game Go. Game
Game
Go.
Game
Go.
Go.
Yeah. Game of Go. Game of Go. Game of Go. I have it here. Let me share. Here. Uh, it's very interesting. It's with stones. You gain territory. You secure a territory.
Is the game of the stones like white and black?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the game.
I think that I saw in the movie of Karate Kid, but I don't know what is that.
Ah, okay. Yeah, what you do is that you secure territories. You
Hmm.
it's like you trap, you make cells, and then you
Hmm.
trap a cell, and that is your territory.
Okay.
And it's incredibly interesting. It's an Asian game from strategy. Well, now the artificial intelligence can play that game too. Well, it beats the world champion also now. So the artificial intelligence now is able to beat anyone at any sport, at any game, to
Game.
say,
Yeah.
at any game, table game. What do you think of that?
Well, it's something to analyze because, um, well, in this case, are gains, but in the future, we can see it that there are some works that, for example, people now is not too necessary to have them because now a machine can do that work, and in occasions can do it in a better way.
In a better way, yeah.
So I think that um, obviously artificial intelligence is something so important, and it's supposed that help us to make our tasks easier. But I think that there must be boundaries because we are converting in something that is in a way how to say replaceable. So
Replaceable. Yeah.
I think that there must be boundaries on that.
Yeah, the thing is that who establishes the boundaries? It's like
That's
with
the
the
issue.
Industrial Revolution. With the Industrial Revolution, people were fearing that, well, with the machines, people will lose their jobs and the machines will take them. And that happened. And people saw it coming and nobody did anything, right?
Hmm.
So here is something similar is happening. People are saying, well, people may lose their jobs, writers, scripters, screenwriters, movie makers, etc. They may lose their jobs. Okay, well, we need to stop it. Okay, yeah, we need to stop it. Okay, and they continue. They do. We, including myself, we are not doing anything. So who should do something? Is what do you think, Mickey? Because the question that you make is very, very important, very, very serious. Who is in charge?
Yeah. Mm, well, I think that um, yeah, it's difficult to answer, but probably the same government and probably establishing like rules to the enterprises. I don't know. It's to be honest, it's something difficult to answer because if I'm in part of the companies, obviously I want to decrease my expenses, and obviously I know that with a machine probably I'm gonna give um, 2 times per week. What's this word? Like not like renewal, but like optimizing the machines probably.
Yeah.
But for example, if you hire a person, you need to pay every month or every 15 days, and obviously this person requires insurance, requires a lot of a lot of things that machines don't. So it's something to analyze, and I think that people in general we need to really care about it because, like us, we can talk and analyze the possible consequences, but in reality, we can see that artificial intelligence is changing the world, and in not so many years, I'm completely sure that gonna manage a lot of works that now are works that people, common people do every day.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, what you say is very, very true. Well, something to worry about, something to discuss, maybe establish circles of conversation about the topic, introduce these topics, and face the topic, confront people with the topic. Hey, what would you do in this case? What are we going to do? Who is going to do it? When are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? But it's a good topic. It's a good question because now is the moment to take measures. Later might be late.
Yeah.
But it's very, very, very interesting. I'm glad you mentioned this. Let's go to the next one, Mickey, please. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain.
Cryptocurrencies and blockchain, evolving trends in digital currencies and blockchain technology.
Yeah, what is your thought about that? First of all, how much do we know? I don't know much about that, honestly, but how much do you know, Mickey, about cryptocurrencies?
Um, well, yeah, cryptocurrencies uh, became so popular in the last years. One of the most famous one are Bitcoin. Another one could be Ethereum, and there are a lot of cryptocurrencies that obviously people invest their money in those currencies. The money gets value, and then the money, I don't know, for example, if you invest $100 when the cryptocurrency was uh,
She wants to participate.
yeah, yeah. For example, if you invest your money when the cryptocurrency didn't have so much value, and the cryptocurrency got value in the last years, obviously, a lot of people became rich with Bitcoin. I think that it has advantages and disadvantages. One advantage and the same time is a disadvantage is that it's not regulated. So, for example, if the owner of Bitcoin decides to disappear, the money of the all investors well disappears too. But the advantage, obviously, could be that there are like that is not regulated in a way. So um, the creation of cryptocurrencies in general, I think that is because people have fear that the normal banks or the normal how can I say money system disappear. So that's why people invest their money in that type of currencies. And if you ask me if I would recommend you to invest on that, uh, I did what one time in something called NFT. I don't know if you know what is an NFT, teacher, or do
No,
you know that?
NFT, no, what is that?
Uh, well, there are different types of NFTs. One could be an image, for example. In the time of the pandemic, it became so popular an NFT called Bored Apes, and there were images, digital images of apes, with different styles, and some famous people started to buy them, and obviously, when people saw that famous people were buying it, most people invest in those images, and their value increase a lot, and and just for a moment the creator of those images disappeared and the money of those people disappeared too because they
Ah,
could sell their images, obviously depending of the value of them in the market at that moment. But yeah, it's something that the disadvantage that you don't know what who created that, and for example could be a person of Venezuela or from India, and you don't know, just buy it, and then this person disappeared with all the money, with all the pool that
right.
that recover in that moment. Yeah, and happened to me. I invest in a game, I remember at that time I invested uh, no more than 10,000 pesos, but the
Ouch.
value increased, and unfortunately, I didn't sell on time. So the person who created that game just disappeared from one day to other, and I lost my money. So I wouldn't recommend you to invest in cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
The most safe, I think, that is Bitcoin because it's the most popular. But
Okay.
at the end, you don't know who created Bitcoin, and you don't know the real purpose of that.
Right. That reminds me of one of the setups, the most famous setups in Leon, long time
Mm?
ago. I don't know if I told you about this. This was Mr. Casting.
No, what
I
is that?
no, no. All right. There was an event in which there was going to be a casting for ladies, right? Because they were going to take them to Hollywood, supposedly, right?
Mm,
So you would be part of the competition to qualify for a movie in Los Angeles, Hollywood,
mm,
and they were going to select 50 or 100 people out of like 1,000 or 10,000. I don't know. There were lots of people. And all you needed to do, I mean, they needed to do as girls, was to dress up, pay $50, and give your information and do a walking, a casting, which is a pasarela, right? A
mm-hmm,
casting. You do a casting, and then they would call you. So there were like, no, no kidding, there were like 3,000 or 5,000 girls in the Mr. Casting. This guy rented a hall. He charged like no, he charged $50 precisely. And one day, what happened with Mr. Casting? Well, it was a fake. He just disappeared. So we were making note of that he made easily $250,000 with the scam. That was only a scam, but with the scam he made $250,000. Surely,
Oh
surely.
my god. Yeah, that's the issue. On internet, there are a lot of fake news. Like for example, the fake advertisement that you saw the other day, that they recommend you to invest in petrol in Mexico, and
Right, exactly.
you know, uh, I have a friend. He's so, how can I say it? Mm, in a way, like,
Naive, innocent, or
yeah,
the
naive.
opposite? Okay.
No, no, naive. and and there were a company called Cifra, and it's supposed that they do trading with cryptocurrencies. So if it is difficult to do trading with, the normal, how can I say it? The normal, mm, different types of exchange. Imagine doing trading with cryptocurrencies that, for example, one day the value of the cryptocurrency is plus 100%, and the next day it's minus 20, 20%, And he
Jeez.
invested, I think that every month he was investing like 5,000, and he convinced his mom to invest too. And I think that at the end both invested more than 30,000. And yeah, just one day the the website where they were investing disappeared. So they thought that they were, I think, rich, but when they log in again to that page, the page uh, didn't loading. So the person who created that just disappeared, and their money too. And a lot of people were scammed from the same company. Yeah, well, supposing company. So yeah, it's people must be more aware of all the different scams that exist now, because now there are so
Right.
many.
Do you know what happens to that people? That happens to me too. Also, I'm not innocent of that. That is greed. Honestly, I mean, we think that we're gonna become rich overnight. So we say they tell you, yeah, this is a way to get rich. Just invest. The money is gonna continue to expand, to grow artificially,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
has no sound. I mean, it's soundless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to be able to control that, but sometimes it's difficult because we just see the money and we say, well, it can grow and grow and grow. You get wealthy overnight almost, right?
Yeah. happened to me with the NFT that I invested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's normal.
I was thinking, no, I'm rich at 20 years old now.
Right. Well, but it's my daughter Minerva. She was investing in Bitcoin long time ago,
Mm,
and her mom as well. So they said, "Well, let's start putting some money." I think they put like 3,000 pesos, and the three
mm.
thousand pesos grew to five. And one day they had 25,000 pesos.
Wow.
And the next thing you learned is that there was a drop, and it went down like to 50 or 50 pesos, something of that nature. And I was asking my daughter, Minita, what happened with the money? Oh, no, don't worry, Dad. And then I said, well, she's not very happy. What happened? No, tell me the truth. Well, the price went down.
Yeah, that's the issue. But at the end, I think that Bitcoin is still growing. In the last year, I think that it get down, but I think that it's increasing their value again. But but well, I think that it's something that you invest for a long time, and the money that doesn't affect you because obviously if it's all your your income and you invest on that without know what could happen in the future, I think that obviously there's a big risk.
Right. Have you heard of the idea of developing real estate? Do you believe that can be a good business? Because many people, I have a friend in Leon who is
Mhm.
in real estate and they're making lots of money. Real estate. That is purchasing land,
Mhm.
developing land, making houses, and then selling the houses or the developments. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that real estate is one of the best businesses of all time. Unfortunately, I think that now it's a little bit uh, difficult. For example, for people like me that we don't have all the money to purchase the land. I remember that there were so many gurus that says, you're gonna buy three houses. One you rent the house, the other you sell it, and in the other you're gonna live it. And it's like, okay, yeah, but with what money I'm gonna purchase the three houses, you know?
Right, exactly.
But of course, the people who have money and invest in that, I think that it's save money, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And yet there are many challenges. And yeah, it's challenging. And there is another business which is also interesting, but is I don't know if it's a kind of business that you would like to be in. Is foreclosures. Foreclosures is something that you do through the bank most of the times, and but you need to execute it legally,
Hmm.
right? What do you think of foreclosures, Mickey?
Yeah, I have seen it on Instagram. There's a page who sells how can I say foreclosures foreclosures houses or
Houses in foreclosure, yes.
houses in foreclosures, and to be honest, it seems so uh, so attractive in a way because it's like, oh my god, how is this house costs just that? But I don't know. To be honest, I'm not pretty informed about it, and I'm a little bit like doubting a little bit because you don't know exactly of who was the owner of that house, and I don't know. Yeah, doubtful.
About the owner of the house. Yeah, the
Yeah,
circumstances,
the
the
problems
circumstances.
that could have the house.
Yeah, exactly. I was chatting about that with another friend. His name is Miguel. I is your tocayo. He's a
Hmm.
smart guy too. He's much older, maybe double your age. No, you what 22? Yeah, double your age, but he's also very smart. And he was saying that precisely. You don't know anything about the owners. Maybe the owners are drug dealers or they are violent people. Maybe they are not. Maybe they're just normal people who couldn't afford to pay the house. Maybe they were lazy, whatever. But you're gonna take the house that was the house of another person, and you're gonna take it by force, by law, by force,
Yeah.
protected by the law, right? So this person says, well, they didn't pay because they didn't want to, or they decided not to pay, so they are losing their house with a with the protection of the law. The law is giving you the right to take the house. A house that costs 1,000,000 pesos, for example, in this case of this girl, this lady that makes the foreclosures with her husband,
Hmm.
they both say that they they can buy property at 1/3 of the value, or 60% of the value. They purchase a property that used to cost they bought it at 600,000, and it was worth 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So 50%. And then it takes time. It's not like instantaneous. Then you have to execute it. It has to follow a process. And after a time, you can, once you get the
Hmm.
deeds, then you can sell it. Not before. Or you can rent them, which is the wisest thing to do. You have the house, you have the property, you don't have the deed yet because it's not been executed, but you rent it and then you get some money. So it's a complex business, but it's very profitable.
Yeah, of course. Mm, yeah, yeah. I think that you can have good luck and probably get a good foreclosures, but at the end, I don't know. I'm a little bit doubtful about the process and about, I don't know, because you don't know who were living in that house. You know.
Right, exactly, exactly. So it's fishy. That is precisely the comment that my friend made. He says, "Well, you exactly, you don't know who the owner was. So if you knew, if it was clear, if the owner was not resistant, because then you have to evict them.
Hmm.
You also have to evict the tenant of the house. Evict the tenant. If the tenant is occupying the house, you need to get the law, sometimes the police, and evict the tenants, and that is not nice also.
Yeah.
So I mean, you need certain type of personality, which I mean, some people have it, and it's okay. I mean, they're not doing anything illegal. It's legally done, right? It's legal, but like more like a cold blood, I would say.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't consider that I have that type of personality.
Right? Exactly, exactly. Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I. So well, that was another is they were talking about. Let's go back to our trendy topics, Mickey, please. We have space exploration. What do you think about space exploration? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's cheap? Do you think it's necessary? What's your idea about space exploration?
Space exploration. Um. Well, of course, it's something interesting. I think that mm, everybody has like the doubt of what else, what exists apart apart of, so what other planets exist. um for example, I know that Elon Musk, he has the his company. I think that it's called the SpaceX, something like that.
Okay.
And he wants to to get human life to Mars, and he's trying to he 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 sends different types of uh, robots to Mars to analyze the condition of life in that planet. It's interesting, but to be honest, I'm not pretty informed about it. Yeah.
Right. Do you think it's likely that we find life or living conditions in other planets, or is a remote possibility? What do you think?
Well, technology it's advancing so fast. Probably in the future could be a possibility, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's unlikely, right? Or at least for now.
Yeah, for now I would say that it's not it's not possible.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the efforts that missions are, not missions, that countries are carrying out with a lot of money. They need a big budget, like in the
Hmm.
US. NASA has a huge, huge budget, stronger budget than planets. Should that be a priority, or they should focus on other things? What's your comment about that, Mickey?
Well, I think that at this moment there are other priorities. Probably they have like this desire, or they know that probably our planet is not gonna be um, able to. Well, the planet, I think, obviously continue exist, but probably the life as we know could change, and probably that's why they are trying to see what other alternatives they have, or we have. Um, but I think that with that money, they could really focus on really care for planet and change a lot of things.
But yeah, what's your idea, your personal opinion about Elon Musk? Well, he's a very smart entrepreneurial guy, but more that you know about him, what's your opinion about Elon?
Mm, well, yeah, I think that Elon Musk is obviously we know their impact, and we know that it's a it's a billionaire. Probably, mm, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what could happen to his mind to decide and to invest a lot of money on that. But obviously, I know that he obviously does with a purpose, and yeah, he must have the his reasons.
Yeah, yeah, could be because he has many developments, right? He's the one who developed the Tesla car. Is he?
Yeah, Tesla. Um, I think that he purchased PayPal and then he sell it again. He
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think that PayPal was created from one of his friends, and he associated with him, and then he buy it and then he sell it.
He sold it, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, he
Oh,
has different companies.
okay. Um, this question, I was thinking about this the other day. Would it be possible that every person or close to every person has a small activity, like a small business, and they be profitable? In other words, is it possible that I know that is an utopia, but would it be possible that every single person in the humankind, 7 billion plus plus, um, live well or live better lives? How would that be?
Um,
Can 7 billion people plus live well?
yeah, to be honest, I don't think so.
No, it's difficult, right?
Yeah, no, it's difficult. Um, Unfortunately, I know that there must be countries who helps to the other countries to get uh, their their quality of life. We know from all those, for example, African countries that European countries for a long period of time were uh,
Exploiting them.
exploiting them. Yeah, their minerals, their works, everything. So, unfortunately, now I think that that's that's a problem that in occasions we don't see. For example, we have seen a lot of campaigns to help African countries, but all those European countries or all those countries who have the money, they are taking advantage of all of them, and they created campaigns to help them. So yeah, That's a big problem.
Yeah, that is a good point too, right? Yeah, the people who are exploiting them are the ones who ask for additional money to help them,
To help
which
them,
they
yeah,
are not.
exactly. Yeah, I remember. I don't know if it was like 1 month and a half or 2 months ago that I saw that the president of France was upset with, I don't remember what African country was, but because he told that, because that African country, I think that one wanted like independence of their own minerals of, I don't remember, and he said that how is possible that with all that time that France were helping that country now decided to do that, and he's like, oh my god, how how long time those countries were exploding, and now when they want a little bit of independence, you say that type of comment. So
Yeah, it's out of place.
out of place.
Yeah, that's totally true. Well, I fully agree with you, Mickey. Fully agree. There is a policy which many companies have in countries like Latin America, which is called extractivism,
Hmm.
which is a practice in which they establish mining companies, they establish petrol or oil companies, they establish soya extraction companies, and they say soya with J in Latin America and in Saxon countries, and they say it with
Hmm.
Y in Mexico, but they use J in South
Hmm.
America. And this is an extractivist activity in which they monocultivars are used only like soya
Hmm.
widely, and they use plantations that erode the soil, and this
Hmm.
erosion caused by one single cultivar is very harmful for the soil,
Hmm.
and people are aware of that, and regardless they continue doing, right? So they use monocultivars, and they don't rotate, don't no rotation of the crops, and erosion of the soils. These are three severe problems. Well, one is the cost, monocultivars is the cost, and no rotation of the crops is also a problem, and that causes erosion of the soils. Uh, Infertility, of course, infertility is a consequence. And this is a serious problem. But this happens widely in Latin American countries, in Argentina, for example, with the soya. Um, the question again is who should be in charge, right? Who should be in charge of protecting? Who's in charge of protecting the soil of your communities? I mean, you don't live in the community. I don't live in the community. Many people don't live in the community, but they cannot protect themselves. So who
Hmm.
protects them? The government. At times they care. At times the government makes an alliance, but with a big corporation
Yeah, of course.
who can defend them? Who can defend?
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's an issue that is not from now. It's something that it happens since a long, long time ago, and it's and now it is difficult to think like how will be the solution because it's a problem that exists since, well, I don't know, but
Decades ago,
yeah, exactly.
30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, maybe more. But yeah, it's an actual problem and it's very serious. Well, that is more or less the topic that I am addressing in my thesis of the doctoral degree with the
Oh, really?
extractivist practices, yes, with agave in Guanajuato.
Hmm.
So I am studying that problem, that, and I need to start checking the communities that are subject to this exploitation, or and determine if the practices that companies are doing, purchasing the land or renting the land, is extractivist or not, and if they are taking some share of the cake or nothing at all, in which case it's a problem, right? Because that impoverishes the communities. if those practices impoverishes the communities, impoverishes, I didn't write it, impoverishes the communities, then it's a serious problem and that needs to be addressed uh, and solved, right? But first, we
Yeah,
need to make a diagnosis and determine if that is really happening. But we have the idea that it's happening for sure, but we need to make sure, right?
yeah,
We need
that's the
to,
reality.
yeah, find the evidence. But it's a really, really, really interesting topic. Well, that was the topic of, let's see, the topic of, I think, space exploration. Well, I deviated a little bit, a
Yeah.
little bit.
No,
Okay, now let's go to the next one, Mickey, please, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is an interesting social topic. What do you think of that? Can you read it, please?
diversity, equity, and inclusion. Increasing focus on creating diverse and inclusive spaces in various sectors.
Yeah, what's your
Mm,
opinion?
well, I think that it's a difficult topic too.
Yeah, it is. It is difficult, yes.
Yeah, because uh, I think that to analyze this topic completely, we need to think in like in both parts, right?
Of
For
course.
example, with this topic, uh, comes to my mind. I don't know. I know that there are so many European countries that people from other countries immigrate to those countries, and obviously it must be inclusion of. If I don't go too far here in Irapuato, we know a lot of immigrant people who pass through here. Um, but I don't know. Probably my opinion is is different to the opinion of the others, but I'm not. Uh, I don't think that it's something good to the country and to the other countries. Obviously, I understand that the reason why they move from their countries is because probably their country is worst, and obviously they want to get a better, yeah, a better life. But
Yes.
obviously, I think that there must be a control, and at least I I don't see it here in my country. I don't see it every day. I'm gonna see people near from Coca Cola. Do you know that part
Yeah,
near
yeah, the bridge.
the bridge? Yeah, and every day with old people, kids, babies, women, men from all the ages, and I don't know if something good because if I've been thinking about it not a long time ago, and I was thinking, who really passed to United States? Who really achieved it? You know, and there are completely families, and probably I'm divagating a little bit, but yeah, it's something that I've been thinking, and I don't know that it's something good.
Yeah, well, the problem is there. You can stop the future immigrants. You can say, well, we close the border, uh, but you need to analyze it. We need to analyze it in a broader perspective. For example, how many people do we send to the US?
Hmm.
Lots of people, millions, millions of people. Only in California, there are 30 million Mexicans in the census, plus
Hmm.
the ones that are not in the census,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it creates a problem. It creates a bad image. It looks bad because you see people sleeping in the street, kids sleeping in the street. The other day, I passed through the bridge and I saw someone from the city hall
Hmm.
with a barrel of soup, probably serving soup to the plates of the people there.
Hmm.
I saw that as a positive thing. They are feeding them, and I think that's something noble, something nice. but yet the living conditions under a bridge. Where do you live? Under a bridge? Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
I don't see myself living under a bridge. I mean, I maybe if I do it, I survive. I'm not saying that, oh, that's gonna kill
yeah,
me.
of
No,
course. Hmm.
I will survive, but I would try to find a better place right away, immediately. And they don't do it. Well, they want to feel tight, they want to feel together. That creates a, that is a space, that is their space.
Yeah,
uh,
always there's space.
yeah, and it looks like a ghetto, right? One of those slums in Brazil too, which are very common there as well, and it's a sign of poverty. And how can we not give them a shelter, for example? One of those, I don't say orphanatory, well, a shelter is called a shelter where they can
Mhm.
live. There are many places where they can do that, and we don't do it. I mean, we give them just the bare minimum. I don't know. It's ugly to see it. It's not nice, but it's an existing reality.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand that. But I don't know. I think that uh, we know all the countries have their problems. Mexico have
Yes,
their own problems, and and I know that in Mexico there's a lot of poverty too. So it is difficult to me to think that yeah we can help to that people, but we have the half of the country in poverty too. So
yes,
and we know not all people. I think that the not all people achieve to pass the border. That's why United States they close their borders because
right.
that's imagine how many people try to pass every year,
That is
every
true.
day,
Every
and
day.
I don't know. It's a complex topic.
It is very complex, right? Have you heard of the phrase "mercy starts at home"?
Yeah.
La caridad empieza en casa, right?
Hmm.
Maybe we should start with the Mexicans. The other day, I got entangled in a conversation in a group of, they call them the Chavorrucos group. And well, it's a, a chat group of people in the 50s. And they say that people in Palestine and Israel should quit fighting and bombing each other and this and that. And that we should do something. And then I submitted my unrequested opinion. I said,
Hmm.
well, mercy should start at home. We should begin feeding our own people first, helping our own people first, and only then we can help others.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
yeah. The thing is that we don't do that we don't do it right. I mean, some
Uh-huh.
people do. Some people have missions, or have activities which are fantastic. Have you ever participated in a social activity, Mickey? I'm sure you have.
Mm, well, I have done some activities to help people or animals, but like me participating in a specific activity, no, no. But I always try to help people, and in occasions I don't want to help them. For example, I met the other time a guy who I gave clothing, and he wanted money, and he was like, "Oh my God, my clothes went so bad," and no, he just left the clothing there, and he was like, "Oh my God, I want to help the people," and they
Oh,
don't want.
really? He
Yeah,
rejected
probably.
the clothes.
Yeah, probably he was a how can I say a drug addict or something
Drug
like that,
addict.
and
Right.
that's why probably he wanted money. But well, yeah, there's a lot of people who you wants to help them, and they don't want the type of help that you are bringing to that moment.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. So even helping people can be a problem because sometimes they resist, they reject something which is good for them.
Yeah, yeah, of course, it's difficult.
Well, that reminds me when I was a kid, my mother wanted to give me medicine because I had stomach ache or stomach infection or something. And I said, no, 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 I don't want it. No, take it. It's for your own good. I said, no, I don't want it. Sometimes
Exactly.
people are like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, or worst.
Or worse, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah, that is a difficult problem to alleviate. However, is latent, is there, and we need to address it. But well, we wanna go into the details maybe in the next few classes. We
Yeah.
have the next topic, Mickey, which is meta universe and virtual reality. Uh, what's your what? How much do you know about this topic? Meta universe and virtual reality.
Well, I know that Meta Universe was created by Facebook. I think so, right?
Oh, okay, okay, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember the moment that what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg announced that, and it was like, well, you think the virtual reality lives in another, well, like in another universe, in a fictitious universe. I don't know, probably, yeah, it could have different benefits, but I think that it is important to don't ignore the the reality, because I have seen people who really is on it and they don't go out of that reality, and I think that that's a big problem. And yeah, like everything, there must be controls too.
You said that it's important not to ignore reality or the reality.
Hmm.
Um, uh, how do they ignore it? They spend too much time
Yeah, exactly.
there. Ah, okay.
Yeah, because it's like you have your own friends. Probably you don't know exactly what the real faces look, and you are talking with them. You can talk with chat or with your microphone, and I think that you can modify your voice too. And I don't know. I think that, for example, if I'm thinking probably not exaggerating, because I know that there's a problem. I think that you must have a minimum age to do that, because you don't know really who is behind that avatar, or who is behind with the of the avatar that you're talking. So I think that um, there must be control on it. I think.
Okay. I am not very familiar with the meta universe. So you enter the meta universe. What do you see? How is the virtual reality? Who do you meet there? What do you talk about? What do you do? Which activities do you entangle in? What do you do there?
Well, um, uh, I haven't entered to the meta universe. I just have seen videos.
Okay.
But for example, at the beginning, there's like a big hall, and there's a lot of people walking there, and you can talk to those people, and that people, they are real people. So you can talk with them, and you can do different activities like games. So you can do your life really in the meta universe. You
Okay.
can spend a lot of time on it, and and yeah, it's something nice. Obviously, there must be fun, but I have seen cases where people is just there. They are ignoring their probably the reality, and and yeah, there must be uh, at least a control of time of the people who is in that, and who is spending the reality in a reality that don't exist. I think so.
Yeah. Well, that is yeah, yeah. That is scary, if I can say that, because it's something that you don't know, right? There was a site. I don't know if it's a site or a cyberspace called
Mhm.
something deep,
Deep web.
deep, the deep web, right?
Yeah.
And they say that it's also brutal. That is very heavy, very dense, and it looks like this a bit. I don't know if something similar is related to that.
Well, I think that uh, first of all, it is difficult to log in to the deep web. I think that you need to know a lot of of computers to log to the deep web, and
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I think that it's. I have seen people reacting on YouTube to the deep web. obviously they don't show what released the deep web because they can YouTube can close their videos or close their channel. But I have seen people reacting to that, and yeah, I think that it's the worst of the worst
Oh,
because
really? Okay.
yeah, I think that you can buy uh, arms, you can buy drugs, you can
Organs.
buy organs, you can buy
Oh, awful, awful. All right. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that you can hire people to do the activities that you don't want to do.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah, it's obviously there are a lot of theories about it because not all people can log into that, but yeah, I know that it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, we have one more topic. I think we continue with this other topic tomorrow. E-commerce and online shopping, which is interesting too.
Yeah,
Um, how's your time tomorrow, Mickey? Let's say 9, maybe. Also, do you think it's a good time?
tomorrow it's Friday.
Friday,
Yes, sure. At 9 it's okay. Yeah, I
9.
think that I don't have something special to do in the morning. No. Yes, sure.
Okay.
At 9 it's okay.
All right, Mickey. Well, and then see you tomorrow. Take care. Good talking to you. Say hello to the family and enjoy your day, Mickey.
Thank you, teacher. You too. Thank you for your time. Take care and enjoy your day.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.